Welcome to part 7 of Let's Play Legend of Zagor by Ian Livingstone. At the end of the last part I was on paragraph 122 and I was about to decide whether to open a secret door and turn to 164 or leave and either follow the west passage, turn to 399, or the north passage and turn to 139. We're going to open the secret passage, of course, or the secret door, whatever. So we're going to go to 164. Okay, here we are. A small cramped secret chamber here is filled with foul and musty air, but it also has some valuable items. There is a suit of dwarf-sized plate mail armor. Only Stubble can wear this, and he gains a bonus of 1 to his attack strength in combat when wearing it. Further, there is a lead casket which contains a lumpy, elliptical, somewhat egg-like object that measures about 20 centimeters, approximately, I'd say, 9 inches. Yeah, about 9 inches from end to end. This is one of the fabled lava spheres of the dwarfs of Grundia, and it can be a devastating weapon. If you throw it into an area, a room or passage, where you have to fight, it will explode in a ball of flames which harms all your opponents in the combat. Roll one die for each opponent separately to determine the number of stamina points he will lose. It assumes it's a he. It could be a woman. Number of stamina points he will lose. This will not harm Zagor or any fire-breathing creature, however. You must spend 1 magic point to activate the lava sphere. Gain 1 luck point for finding it. Okay, let's write this down. Okay, let's go on a new line. Lava sphere. Roll 1 die to determine number of stamina points deducted from enemies in combat. Semicolon won't work on Zagor or fire breathing enemies. Brilliant. Right. I think that's what it was anyway. We don't need the luck point, of course, because we're at maximum. Oh yeah, I need to spend a magic point. Oh, 1 die. 1 die for each opponent. I put deducted with 2 Ds. I don't like that. Roll 1 die for each enemy, and oh yeah, needs a magic point. Another semicolon, needs 1 magic point. Oops. There we go, finally. Right. And a new line. Okay, so that's done. We don't need the luck point. Our luck is still at maximum. Let's continue reading. You find a one-way door in the north wall. If you want to open it, turn to 363. Otherwise, you may leave here and take the west passage, turn to 399, or the north passage, turn to 139. Okay. We're going to leave here and take the west passage, so turn to 399. Have I not already been here? Sure, I've been here before. Oh no, I think that was... Oh no, Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we've been here before or not. It might have been 397. I don't know. Anyway, you are standing at a junction of passages. One runs east and west, your right and left respectively. Another leading... I have read this. Another leading northwards is straight in front of you. You are looking towards the north, with the door to the entrance chamber at your back. The corridor in front of you runs for some 15 yards, then it meets a very extensive east-west passageway, the walls of which bear plaques showing the etched figures of hunting birds. This is the passage of hawks. To your right there are 2 doors on the south side of the passage, which then turns to the north. At this point there is a door facing westwards. To your left there is a single door, again on the south side of the corridor, which then turns northwards. All the passages here are lit by dim torches. They give out a faint magical light which grows weaker with the passing years, but which is sufficient for you to see by. You should explore an area you haven't entered before. Will you open the door to your right, 367. Open the second door to your right, 337. Open the door at the far right, turn to 73. Open the door to your left, turn to 238. Head north to the Passage of Hawks, turn to 5. Head west along the passage to where it turns north, turn to 134. Head east along the passage to where it turns north, turn to 139. Yeah, I have been here before, definitely. We're going to open the door to your left, or rather to our left, so turn to 238. Okay, test your skill at opening the door. If you are successful, turn to 329. If you fail, turn to 251. Now, are we holding something? I seem to remember that we're holding something. A crowbar or something. No, I'll just search for crow. No, it just says crown. Are we holding a crowbar or something like that? Well, we have a lockpick. Where's this lockpick? Find something? Yeah, there it is, lockpick. Yeah, that was from the thief. Sure, we had something. Sure, we got a crowbar. Or rather, it says in my notes that I should have a crowbar. So if I don't, I must have forgotten to pick it up or whatever. I don't know. Oh, here we are. Strong iron rod. Subtract 1 from skill test for doors only. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, it says in my notes something about a crowbar, but it's actually, I wrote it down wrong. It's actually the strong iron rod. Yeah, so subtract 1 from skill test for doors only. That's what I meant. I knew I had something. Okay, so our skill is 11. So we're pretty much guaranteed to win this. So we need to roll 2 dice and then subtract 1 because of the iron rod. And then if this is less than or equal to 11, which is guaranteed to be, because if it's 12 it's going to be 11 because of the subtract 1, then we're guaranteed to be skillful. So this is just a formality really. Yeah, so we were skillful. Right, brilliant. So we subtract 1, that turns to 2. So yeah. Okay, so let's move on. If you're successful, turn to 329. Crowbar my foot. Okay, you have been fortunate enough to come upon 2 orc guards sleeping in dereliction of their duty. So you dispatch them swiftly. Gain 1 luck point, we don't need it. Their armour and weapons are of little use to you, but you gather some food from the guard room. Add 2 to your provisions. I will do. Let's use some provisions, because I don't think we're allowed more than 12. Or are we? Let's have a find out. 329, let's remember that. Let's search for provisions. That's what you may eat. It says my backpack contains enough provisions for 12 meals. It doesn't say that I can't hold more than 12. Oh, yes it does. Oh no, that's the stamina can't exceed its initial value. No, it doesn't say that I can't have more than 12 provisions. Oh, yes it does. However, you cannot carry more than 12 provisions at any one time. There we go. I'm glad I checked actually. Okay, yeah. So I'm not allowed to hold more than 12 provisions. Let's just read that again actually, because I didn't read it properly. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Cannot carry more than 12. Okay, yes, that's confirmed. Right, okay. Let's go back to 329. Always best to check, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, I have 11s. Let's use one of them. You know, that'll put me up to 22. And then let's just pick up the 2 that I just found. So I'm back to 12 again. There we go. Brilliant. Okay. Add 2 to your provisions, and there's a lantern here should you need it. I don't need it, but I'll just put lantern times 2. There's no reason for me not to have another lantern just in case I need it. Might as well. But it does say should you need it. It's my interpretation whether I need it or not. I deem it that I do need it, because I might lose the other one. So in my opinion I do need it. So I'm going to take it. Right. Loopholes, aren't they great? Okay, leaving this room you can head back east to explore, turn to 399, or go to the west to the north turning of the passage and turn to 134. Okay, we're going to go to the west to the north turning of the passage, blah blah blah, and turn to 134. 134. Fandiddlyastic, there we go. Okay, about halfway along this north-facing passageway, there is a lone single door to the west. Then the passage meets the long east-west passage of Hawks. If you want to return to the south to explore an area you haven't yet entered, turn to 399. If you want to open the door here, not having done so before, turn to 343. If you want to make for the passage of Hawks ahead of you, turn to 111. Nothing but cops on the take and hookers on the make. That's from Family Guy. Hookers on the make. Anyway, what do we want to do? We're going to open the door here. If you want to open the door here, not having done so before, turn to 343. So we're going to go to 343. The legendary Hall of Heroes lies behind this door. All the greatest warriors and knights in Amarillia had their portraits placed here, and surprisingly they have not been defaced. Entering, you gaze sadly at the paintings, realizing that so many of Amarillia's finest warriors must have perished in the terrible war against the Bone Demon and its armies. One painting in particular catches your eye. It depicts a plate mail-clad knight with flowing auburn hair and green eyes. This youth is hewing down a group of orcs single-handedly, while an airborne sword flies about him, striking at orcs as well. Unfortunately, the plaque under this painting has been torn away, possibly by irate orcs. Test your spot skill. If you are successful, turn to 381. If you fail, you spot nothing unusual, so now you must leave and explore elsewhere. You can go south and then eastwards, turn to 399, or northwards to the Passage of Hawks, turn to 111. Okay, so remember, because we're Salazar, we subtract 2. Testing spot skill subtract 2 from dice roll. So again, we're guaranteed to win this. So we're at 11, so it has to be 11 minus 2. So effectively, this has to be 13 or less, which is guaranteed because the highest roll is actually 12. So 9 minus 2 is 7. So we're guaranteed, yeah. Excellent. So we were successful, and that means we go to 381. 381, here we come. Okay, there's a well-concealed sliding panel behind one of the paintings on the west wall. If you want to open it, turn to 236. If you do not wish to do this, you must leave and explore elsewhere. You can head south and then eastwards, turn to 399, or northwards to the Passage of Hawks, turn to 111. Okay, we're going to open it. So turn to 236. Here we go. Oh, he's very handsome, isn't he? Actually, he's not very handsome. I don't know what I'm saying. He looks very brave, like a hardened warrior. but a man of honour and integrity nonetheless. Anyway, or regardless is what I meant. In a cramped chamber behind the sliding panel, you find a dark-haired, middle-aged man sitting on a dilapidated bed with his head in his hands. A small oil lamp burns on a table beside him, and you can see the corner of a wooden chest poking out from under the bed. The man is wearing plate mail armor, and he reacts with alarm to your entry. You can see from his demeanor that he knows how to use the heavy broadsword he is gripping firmly in his left hand while raising a shield with the other. He is also wearing a curiously ornate gold ring on his right index finger. He yells at you to leave and is clearly going to be a tough opponent to fight. If you want to attack him, turn to 29. If you try to parley with him, turn to 129. If you back away and leave, you must explore elsewhere. You can set off to the south and then eastwards, turn to 399, or northwards to the Passage of Hawks and turn to 111. Okay, we're going to try and parley with him, of course, not attack. So 129, here we come. Okay. You decide to take a risk and tell the man that you have come to destroy the evil that is ruling the castle. He looks first confused, then despairing, and blurts out that your quest is hopeless. He is Sir Davian, or Davian, one of the last Argent Knights, and it is all he can do to keep the orcs at bay and delay his own death. He breaks down and admits that he had been afflicted with magical fear by one of the war dragons which assaulted the castle during the wars, and that he literally fainted with fear after fleeing and found himself here. Now he hides in fear for his life. If you are Braxus, turn to 178. If you are any other character, turn to 250. Okay, we are any other character, so we have to turn to 250. The wretched knight is sunk in depression and despair. Clearly he can offer you no help. If you want to ask him about the knight with the magical flying sword in the painting you have seen, though this may be tactless, turn to 202. Otherwise you must leave and explore elsewhere. You can head south and then eastwards, turn to 399, or northwards to the Passage of Hawks, turn to 111. Okay, so we're going to ask Sir Davian or Davian about 200, about I mean the painting, so turn to 202. We're going to ask him about 202. He doesn't know about the book, does he? About the book we're reading right now. Anyway, I mean that would be breaking the fourth wall and a little bit of a paradox, I think. Anyway, Sir Bethel was my friend. He was a mighty warrior, and he used a magical flying sword. It would fight independently of him, dancing in the air and slicing through orcs like a knife through butter. Alas, he perished in the wars, of course. To find his rooms, when you leave here, you should head northwards, then east along the Passage of Hawks to the crossroads. Once there, you should travel northwards and take the eastern route at the end of that passageway. That is where you will find the chambers of the Argent Knights. You thank Davian for his help. Now you must leave and explore elsewhere. You can head south and then eastwards, turn to 399, or northwards, turn to 111. Okay. Okay, so we're going to write down that Sir Bethel had the magical sword, flying sword. Sir Bethel has the flying sword, or had the flying sword. There we go, smashing. Okay, now we're going to go northwards, so turn to 111. Okay, you stand looking up and down the long east-west Passage of Hawks, with several doors and passages leading from it. You decide to make for the midway point of the passage and take careful stock of everything you can see. Turn to 5. Aye, aye, Captain. Okay, you are standing midway along the Passage of Hawks. Looking south, you can see the door by which you entered this level of the castle. To the east there is a green door in the south wall, then a crossroads, and the passage continues east without any further doors leading from it. To the west there is a white door in the south wall, then a corridor leading south, and finally, some yards before the end of the passage, there is a door in the south wall directly opposite a northwards leading passage. You should head for an area you haven't explored before. Will you head due south, 10 to 399, open the green door to the east, 10 to 287, make for the crossroads to the east, 10 to 92, open the white door to the west, 10 to 224, open the second door to the west, 10 to 275, go west and down the south passage, 10 to 72, go west and down the north passage, 10 to 385. That is a lot of options. Okay, so we're going to open the second door to the west. So we're going to turn to 275. Okay, you find yourself. I remember that one. Yeah, there's a jester. That's one of them. Yeah, I remember that's one of the pictures. I remember when I first read this book, or attempted this book years and years ago. I had a quick flick through it. Yeah, one of the pictures I noticed was Mungus. I said that before, but another one was this one. And then I kept confusing it. I confused it later. I kept thinking this picture was in Death Trap Dungeon, and then I later thought it was in Trial of Champions, which is the sequel to Death Trap Dungeon. But it wasn't. It was in this book. I got a bit confused. Anyway, so here we are, 275. You find yourself in a... that picture isn't with this paragraph, by the way. Anyway, you find yourself in the powder room used by the glitteringly beautiful women of Castle Argent before its fall. Their valuable gilded mirrors, crystal scent bottles, and jewellery boxes have been pillaged, and makeup lies in small mounds on the broken and vandalised marbled tables. If you are Anvar or Stubble, you leave here. You can make your way along the north passageway opposite. If you haven't explored the area before, turn to 385. Or go back east along the Passage of Hawks, turn to 111. If you are Braxis or Salazar, turn to 15. It doesn't make any sense. If you are Anvar or Stubble, you leave here. Right, that's it. You can make your way along the north passageway opposite if you haven't explored the area before. Oh yeah, right. That does make sense. Sorry, I apologise. I'm being stupid. Okay, so if you're Braxis or Salazar, turn to 15. So we have to turn to 15. Here we go. A cunning plan begins to hatch in your mind. Much of the cosmetic powder that has been left here is very pale in colour, and by daubing a great deal of it on your face and hands, mixed with some of the oily skin creams here, you might just be able to pass as a zombie. You may be able to fool other zombies or equally mindless minions. You can take enough cream and powder to disguise yourself if you wish to do so. You will be asked later on whether you're using this disguise or not. Now you can head along the north passageway opposite, turn to 385, or go back east along the Passage of Hawks, turn to 111. Okay. So we're disguising ourselves as a zombie. So I'll just put there. We are disguised as a zombie. Okay, brilliant. And now we're going to go back east along the Passage of Hawks. So turn to 111. Okay. You stand looking up and down the long east-west Passage of Hawks, with several doors and passages leading from it. You decide to make for the midway point of the passage and take careful stock of everything you can see. 10 to 5. We've read this before, haven't we? Okay, so it's this one again. I'm not reading that again. Okay, so this time we're going to open the green door to the east. So turn to 287. The green lacquered door opens readily, and the chamber beyond appears very strange, for it is filled with dead vegetation. You can see a wooden chest half buried under trailing vines in the distance. I bet if we'd killed that Sir Davian, we would be able to open his chest but that involves killing him, so because he had a chest under his bed or something. Anyway, you can see a wooden chest half buried under trailing vines in the distance, so you enter in order to take a closer look. As you do so, a huge shape arises from the half-rotten plant remains, roughly human-shaped. The thing is composed of vines. Yeah, note how it says composed of, not comprised of. I hate reading comprised of. The whole comprises the parts, and the parts compose the whole. So it's composed of, not comprised of. Comprised of doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, even worse is comprises of. That even makes even less sense. Anyway, the thing is composed of vines, and it reaches out for you. Its knobbled limbs trailing twitching vines along the ground. If you want to flee, turn to 5. If you decide to fight the plant Golem, do your best to dispatch. Look at that, look, it's spelled dispatch wrong. It's spelled it dispatch without the T. That's interesting. Do your best to dispatch it swiftly. Each time the plant golem wins an attack round, you must test your skill. If you fail, it has wrapped some of its trailing vines round your legs and arms, making it harder for you to move freely and fight it, and you must subtract 1 from your attack strength. You can do this up to 3 times as the thing binds you tighter and tighter, more tightly and more tightly in its suffocating grasp. I don't think tighter is an adverb. Anyway, plant golem 813. Okay, so there's the plant golem. Lovely, what a lovely thing. Okay, so plant golem 813. So if it wins an attack round, I have to subtract 1 from my. I have to subtract 1 from my attack strength up to 3 times. So it can make it so I have to subtract 3 eventually. So, I can keep that, can't I? Yeah, and that one. Unbelievable. Okay, plant. Pardon me, zombie. No, plant golem. Should have just done it properly from the start. Okay, 813. No, it's 12. Can't be cheating, can I? Okay, my skill is at 11. So, what did I just do? Right, let's do this. Okay, so was it 813? Just confirm. 813. Yep. Okay. Right, so rolling for him first. He gets 7. That's 15. I get a 5. That's 16. Right, 17, 16. Right. So that means I have to subtract 1 from my attack strength every time now. Brilliant. Right. Okay. Okay. It gets a 6. That's 14. I get an 11. That's 22, but minus 1 is 21. So 14, 21. So good. He goes down to 11. Okay, next. Okay, he gets 5. That's 13. I get a 9. That's 20 minus 1 is 19. So 13 to 19. So 9. Lovely. Okay, he gets a 6. That's 14. I get 19. No, I get 20. Yeah, 20. So 13 to 20. I think it was. It was either that or 14. Whatever. Was it 14 or 13? I can't remember. It doesn't matter because I've won that one easily anyway. I'd stop the video and check if it were close. Anyway, he gets 11. That's 19. I get 5. That's 16. 15. So 19 to 15. Now I have to subtract 2. I have to subtract 2 from my attack strength every time now. Okay, here we go. Okay, he gets 12. That's 20. 8, 6, 17. So 20 to 17. Right now he gets to subtract the maximum now, but no more than that because it's only up to 3 times. Okay, so now I have to subtract 3. Okay, he gets 8, that's 16. I get 4, that's 12. 16 to 12. because now we're subtracting 3 from my attack strength. And now this is dangerously close to losing. Okay. Again, if I lose, I'll just pretend the battle never happened and just start again. Okay, so he gets an 8, that's 16. I get a 6, that's 14. 16 to 14. This is getting tedious, isn't it? This could actually get me. Is there some sort of thing I'm not doing? I could have used the invisibility thing. I could also use the lava sphere. Or the genie. I mean, there are options here. There's also 2 vials of acid. You know what, I'm going to use the acid. I'm going to use the acid. I'm going to use 1 vial of acid because this thing is annoying. Okay, I'm going to use 1... No, I'll keep it as 2. I'll just say 1 used. There we go. Okay, so... whoops, wrong one. Okay, so that immediately takes off... yeah, I should have kept in that window. Yes, that immediately takes off 4 stamina points from him, so he's down to 5 now, so no. Right, okay, so let's do another attack round. That replaces 1 attack round, so let's just continue. Okay, he gets a 5, that's 13. I get a 9, 9 minus 3 is 6, that's 17, so 13 to 17. Good. Now we're laughing, thank you Mr. Acid. Right, 3. Okay, he gets a 10, that's 18. I get a 4, that's 12. 18 to 12. If it gets too bad, I'll use the other load of acid. I need some provisions, man. Okay, next he gets a 3. Good, that's 11. I get a 9, that's 17. So 11 to 17. Whoops. That puts him down to 1. Okay, next he gets a 3. Oh, good. 11. I get a 10. That's 18. So 11 to 18, and he's dead. Good. Didn't have to use the other acid. Okay, goodbye, plant golem, you annoying critter. Right. Yeah. Get rid of the buzzing. Goodbye, Mr. Buzzing. Right, if you win, to your dismay, you find as you open it that the chest here is not a tower chest, but has a heraldic device painted inside its lid. This shows 7 red lines on a green background. Inside the chest you find 4 gold pieces and a potion of stamina. Drinking this restores stamina equal to half its initial total. Round fractions up, and you can drink it at any time except during combat. Now, leaving this room and entering the Passage of Hawks, will you head west, turn to 5, or east to the crossroads, turn to 92. Okay, so we have 4 gold pieces. So that puts it up to 21. I'll put that on a new line actually, because that doesn't matter. And we have a potion of stamina. New line. Stamina. Restores half of initial stamina. Round fractions. Brilliant. Right. Now where are we going? Wait a minute. I've just done something wrong, haven't I? I didn't test the skill every time it wins an attack round. I deducted 1 point for my attack strength every time, regardless of testing my skill. So I made that harder for myself. Oh well, it's my own fault. I should have paid attention to it. There's so many things to read in this, so many rules to follow every time. It's difficult to follow everything. It's hard enough remembering all the subtractions. Right, let's use 2 provisions up and put our thing up by 8. Because we're actually let's not. Let's use 1. Put it up to 14, and then let's use that fine herbal restorative. No, I can't use that. It's already been used, so I will put it up to 18. Good job I wrote down it was used. And use 2 provisions, right? Yeah, I mean, I should have paid attention. It says to test your skill every time, which pretty much guarantees I wouldn't have actually lost the attack strength bit because my skill is really good. Test your skill. I mean, there's no way I would have failed that, so I've no one to blame but myself, really. Okay, never mind, it's done now. As long as I don't mind, as long as I make it harder for myself, not easier. Anyway, so 7. Okay, let's just make a note of the 7 red lions. Right. Okay, now we're going to head west again, so go back to 5. Okay, here we go, this is 5 again. Okay, now where are we going here? We're now going to open the white door to the west. Yep, white door to the west, 224. Oh, he's angry, isn't he? Hellhorn champion. Anyway, enough of that. We don't have to read that, do we? Let's have a quick look at him. We might not get up to him again. I think I would do something very embarrassing if I encountered that. Very, very embarrassing. And then run as fast as my little legs could carry me. Anyway, the white lacquered door opens into a large chamber which, to your delight, contains a tower chest. However, from this distance you cannot discern in detail the heraldic symbol on it. The room also contains a pair of suits of armour made of white lacquered plate mail and grasping halberds, whatever, in their mailed gauntlets. They snap stiffly and loudly to attention as you enter, pointing their weapons directly at you. If you prefer to flee, 10 to 5, otherwise fight them one at a time. 8, 10, 8, 10. Okay. Right, here we go. What are they called? Animated armor, second animated armor. Okay. Armor. 8, 10. That. I'm fighting them one at a time, aren't we? So I might just copy and paste this. And just put second. There we go. Right, here we go. So we're fighting one at a time. I'll just confirm that. Otherwise, fight. If you prefer to flee, oh yeah, fight them one at a time. Okay. Right, 8, 10, 8, 10. Here we go. Right, my skill is 11, of course. Let's do this. 5, that's 13 for him. 11 for me, that's 22. So 13, 22. I win. He goes down to 8. Next. 14, 15. That was close. 6. There we go. Next. 7. That's 15. 14. He just wins. 15, 14. Next. 14, 18. 18, 18. That's a draw. No change. 12, 18. Puts them down to 2. One more. 15, 16. Just win. Okay, he's dead. Next, animated armor. The second one. Okay, 14, 18. Let's just get on with this. Try to get this done as quickly as possible. Puts them down to 8. There we go. 15, 23. 6. 13, 20. 15, 16. Just win again. It's close. 15, 17. Last one, hopefully. 13, 16. Yep, good. 17, yeah. Was it 17? No, 16, sorry. Doesn't matter, still one. Anyway, it's down to 0. Brilliant, that's that done. Get rid of the buzzing. Okay, if you win, you find that the heraldic symbol on the tower chest shows 3 blue chevrons on a white background. When you are ready to leave, you should explore an area you haven't entered yet along the Passage of Hawks. So will you... Okay, what are we doing with the tower chest? Okay, 3 chevrons. Okay, so this chest has 3 chevrons on it. Chest with armors has 3 blue chevrons on it. I just put chest with plant golem. Okay, so we're doing the tower chest. Luckily, of course, we have the lockpick, so we just have to test our skill for tower chests. So not our luck, which means we're guaranteed to win. Let's do that now. Test skill. Here we go. Oh, what a surprise! I win. Okay, so that means that we don't lose any damage. And then we have to roll again. If it's even, what do we get if it's even again? Oh, I forget every time. We're on 224. So let's have a quick check. Oh, 1 die, yes. 3 points from a stamina if it's luck, yeah, but we now do skill because it's because of the lockpick thing. So we rolled a 6, that's 1 die. Odd number, golden talisman. Even, it's a silver dagger. Okay, so we get another silver dagger. Let's go back to 224. Okay, so silver dagger, we have another one of those. That's 4 now. Okay, is there something else with them actually? Sorry. I think I've missed something. No, sorry about that. I was just checking something. Actually, one more time, sorry. Slightly confused with something. Oh, right. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah, each time we find a dagger or something, we add a luck point. Yeah, but I don't need the luck point. Yeah, I knew there was something. I knew I'd forgotten something. Yeah, so I don't need the luck points because we're at maximum luck already. Anyway, now that we've done that, we're now going to go west then along the North Passage. So turn to 385. Yeah, 385. Looking north along this passage, you can see two doors opposite each other, halfway along the corridor and one facing you at the far end. A swift check shows that the western door here opens into some bedchambers of the ladies of the court. These rooms have been utterly looted and vandalized. The door opposite them um, has an onyx patterned inlay bearing some odd magical runes rather. The door at the end of the passage has a great shield inlay on it, the design of the old King Kral himself. If you are Salazar, turn to 37. If you want to open the onyx door, turn to 78. If you want to open the door bearing the shield, turn to 259. Okay. Okay, if you are Salazar, turn to 37. So we have to turn to 37. Now, the runes of the onyx door betray the presence of some form of magic pertaining to elementals within the chamber. This spells danger to you, so you should expect to have to use powerful magic here. You also know that elementals cannot be harmed without a magical weapon. If you don't carry such a weapon, you are very unlikely to be able to slay an elemental by spells alone, for they are strong. If you want to open the onyx door, turn to 78. If you want to open the door bearing the shield, turn to 259. Okay, we're going to open the onyx door. Turn to 78. The first thing you notice in this chamber is the set of interlocking circles drawn on the floor. Next, the many blue and yellow wall hangings and a pair of huge gilded copper urns set in the corners of its east wall. To the north there is a doorway just round the corner from you. The air here is heady, or heady, whatever, with a strange musky perfume. Within the central circle of the magical set, something is beginning to materialize in the air as a faint shimmering. It grows stronger, denser, higher as you watch it, forming into a whirlwind-like vortex several feet tall. There we go. If you decide to flee, turn to 97. You don't really measure height in yards. Turn to 97. If you decide to flee, turn to 97. If you choose to stay, you can perform two actions, such as eating some provisions, drinking a potion, casting a spell, etc. Before whatever it is that is materializing here is fully formed. Decide which two actions to take. If you want to spend one action trying to open the door to the north, turn to 143. Otherwise, ready yourself to fight and turn to 190. Okay, so the two actions we're going to use here are the genie bottle. We're going to use our genie, and we're going to use a healing item. So we're going to use another load of provisions. So let's just use one and then put our health up to 20. There we go. And we're going to use the genie. Where is he? I'll just put used after the genie since we've used him. So that done. That means we automatically win. We can defeat any enemy except undead, dragons, animated armor, or Zagor himself. So we don't have to fight the elemental. Otherwise, ready yourself to fight and turn to 190. Blimey, I'm glad I used it on him. The air elemental that forms here is not as strong as many of its type, but it is still a formidable enemy. You must test your luck. If you are lucky, the whirling elemental knocks you off your feet, and you must subtract 1 from your attack strength for the first attack round, as well as losing 1 point from your stamina. Okay, so let's just test our luck, and then we've automatically won. So luck is currently 7, so we need to roll 2 dice, and it needs to be less than or equal to 7 in order for us to be lucky. Nope, we were unlucky. Okay, that means we still use a luck point. So luck goes down to 6, and we lose a point of stamina, so it goes down to 19. Doesn't matter about the attack strength thing for our first round because we won already with the genie. So So we've automatically won. When you first win an attack round, do you have a magic weapon? Elementals cannot be harmed by non-magical weapons. If you have no magic weapon, you must flee. Turn to 97 to search elsewhere. If you have a magic weapon, you can fight normally, and your blow has caused the elemental to lose stamina points as normal. If your weapon is not magical, but you do have a way of making it magical for this one in combat, you must take one attack round to do this, during which time the elemental strikes you lose 2 stamina points. Continue fighting the elemental, but every third attack round you must again test your luck. If you are lucky, you can continue fighting. If you are unlucky, you are knocked down with the elemental, losing 1 stamina point, and you must also subtract 1 from your attack strength for the following attack round. If you win, turn to 217. Okay, so we won automatically because of the genie, so we don't have to worry about any of that nonsense. So let's go to 217. The ornate circles on the floor dim, the light of magic sparking out of them. Since this chamber is nearly bare, I will just put air element. I'll just put a thing in it and just say I win automatically because of genie. I dream of genie. Anyway, air elemental skill 12, stamina 15. Automatic win because I used the genie. Done. I'll put automatic, so I just put automatic. Okay, brilliant. Went for a jog earlier. I have pretty low blood sugar right now, so I'm a little bit tired. What am I doing? Oh, here we go. The ornate circles on the floor dim, the light of magic sparking out of them. Since this chamber is nearly bare, you try the north door, wondering what may lie behind it, since the elemental was a powerful guardian. Behind the door, you find a small cubicle with a tower chest. You also find an ornate onyx staff. It has 4 symbols etched along its length: a lion, a goblet, a star, and a chevron. Gain 1 luck point for these finds. Okay, so let's put the luck point up. Back to 7. Let's do the skill thing, which is a formality because we're using the lockpick. Yep, it's less than or equal to 11. Good. And then let's roll again to determine which we get: silver dagger for even, golden talisman for odd. Okay, we get another silver dagger. So another silver dagger for us. So up to 5 silver daggers now. Oh, and we get the onyx staff, don't we? What does it say about it? Let's just say ornate onyx staff. There we go. Do that. There we go. Okay. You do not know as yet exactly. Yeah, I would have gotten another luck point from getting the silver dagger, but I'm already at maximum because of this luck point. You do not know as yet exactly what the staff does, but if you use it at some future time, you will have to spend 1 magic point to be able to do so. I'll just put needs a magic point. There we go. Now turn to 97 to search elsewhere. Fog Wyvern, let's have a quick look at him. What is that? I don't want to know. Right. Not the wyvern, I mean the bloke next to him with a beard, but it looks like he has the body of a pig or something. A hog or what, a boar. Standing in the middle of this passageway, you should open a door you haven't tried before. Alternatively, you should return south and east to the midpoint of the Passage of Hawks if you search this whole area. So will you open the onyx room door, turn to 78, open the door with the shield inlay, turn to 259, open the door to the south opposite this passage, turn to 275, march off south and east along the Passage of Hawks, turn to 5. Okay. We're now going to open the door with the shield inlay, so turn to 259. Behind the door with the shield inlay on it is a barracks complex, a network of small parade chambers, dormitories, and the like. At the northern end of this network of rooms is a broad east-west passage with 2 doors, one with a lacquered blue coating and the other with a similar coating of yellow lacquer. Will you now search the barracks thoroughly? Turn to 12. Open the blue door, turn to 327. Open the yellow door, turn to 205. Leave and search elsewhere, turn to 64. Okay, we're going to open the, or rather, we're going to search the barracks thoroughly. So turn to 12. Oh yeah, that was the thief thing I got, person I got. It takes a long time to search the many dormitory rooms thoroughly, so you must eat 2 meals here. Okay. Down to 7 now. But we don't get any more health back because we have to eat them. Because it says. However, in a sealed tin carefully hidden behind a shield hanging on one wall, you find 2 flasks of herbal liquor, each of which will restore 4 points of stamina when drunk, which you can do at any time except during a combat. Liqueur. Herbal liqueur, I meant to say. 2, what is it? Flasks, yeah. Flasks, not flasks, flasks. Done it again. Or made a spelling mistake again. Of herbal liqueur. Plus 4 stamina each. You also find 3 thick slabs of oatmeal, magically crafted survival rations for soldiers, each of which is enough for a whole meal. These are so light that you can carry them in addition to your usual food, so they don't count towards your provisions limit. Gain 1 luck point. Okay. Plus 3 oat meal slabs that count as provisions but are light, so they don't count towards the provisions limit. Okay, tons of stuff. Gain 1 luck point. Don't need that, do we? No. Unfortunately, your extended search means that you fall foul of a truly ghastly prowler. As you are about to leave, a shambling, rotting corpse in rags lurches towards you, and a miasma of flies buzzes about its suppurating flesh. You have no chance to flee, and you sense that the creature is extremely dangerous. Plague Bearer, Skill 5, Stamina 4. Okay. I'll copy this one and just change it to Plague Bearer. Stamina 4. do this. Okay, he gets 11, that's 16. I get a 6, that's 17. Goodness gracious me, that was close. Goodness gracious. I was thinking to myself, this shouldn't be too bad, because, you know, his skill is so low, but seriously, that was close. Right, one more hit. He gets a 7, that's 12. I get a 7, that's 18. Good. Too close for comfort, that one. Let's in the Plague Bearer, get rid of the buzzing. Whoops, what am I doing? Yeah, that. Okay. Yeah, that picture I have in the background, that comes from a website called slimeland.com. All one word. Slimeland.com. Anyway. Yes, it hasn't been updated in years, but I did a thing years ago. There used to be this game called One Slime Volleyball, and I was bored one time. I thought, what happens if I put, and the way to find it was to put one slime in Google, and it was the first search that came up. And for a laugh, I put one slime in Google and did the very last search that I could be bothered to find, one right at the bottom, and it was that website. And there's this artist who does computer-generated images, and I think this one's called Mountain Clouds, and I've liked it ever since. It's a nice, relaxing-looking image. And it's on a website called slimeland.com. Anyway, if you go in his images, it's a link to his images. The website should still work. It's just hasn't been updated in over a decade or something. Anyway, if the Plague Bearer strikes you even once, turn to 45. If you win, you can open one of the coloured doors here. If you haven't done so before, you may choose the blue door, turn to 327, or the yellow door, turn to 205, or leave the barracks area and explore elsewhere, turn to 64. Okay, we're going to... Yeah, I think if that Plague Bearer had hit us, we die. So it's pretty nasty. So that was too close for comfort, really. But if that happened, I just would have started the fight again, because I'm not doing the whole book again. Anyway, we're going to open a yellow door, turn to 205, and this will be the last paragraph of this video, I'm sorry to say. It's gone on for more than an hour now. So 205. Whoops, it's 105. There we go. To your delight, the room beyond the yellow door contains a tower chest and a pair of guards, 2 suits of lacquered yellow plate mail containing heavy pikes in their gauntleted hands. The magically animated suits of armour attack at once. If you choose to flee, they will chase you out of the barracks as far as the passageway outside. Turn to 64. If you wish to fight, you can back into a corner and fight these magical guardians one at a time. If you win, the tower chest here has a small shield on its lid, showing 8 green stars on a yellow background. Okay, I'll fight these things in the next video. So thank you for watching. In the next video I shall do paragraph 205. And fight the lacquered armours, open the tower chest, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this instalment. And yeah, further in the book next time. So thanks again, and goodbye.